Dzień dobry Państwu. Chciałem tylko uprzedzić, że powiem kilka zaledwie zdań w języku polskim, ponieważ cała dyskusja się odbywa po angielsku. Bardzo się cieszymy, że CU Showcase w tym roku, no nie po raz pierwszy tak naprawdę, bo też wielu artystów, którzy występują na naszym festiwalu, jeździ później swoim materiałem dalej w świat. I o tym też będziemy dzisiaj rozmawiać. Natomiast dzisiaj już odbył warsztat o tym, czy grać na festiwalach, czy grać na showcase'ach. Trochę teraz też o tym porozmawiamy. Oba spotkania odbywają się dzięki współpracy z Instytutem Adama Mickiewicza, który jest jednym z naszych partnerów. No właśnie, pomimo że w programie muzycznym skupiamy się wyłącznie na scenie trójmiejskiej, scenie pomorskiej, to w naszych panelach dyskusyjnych chcemy wychodzić dalej i szerzej i ta dzisiejsza dyskusja jest, mamy nadzieję, takim otwarciem. Porozmawiamy sobie o koncertowaniu w Europie, organizowaniu koncertów, rynkach w Europie Środkowo-Wschodniej, ale też w Europie Zachodniej. I teraz się przełączam na język angielski. So I would like to thank our guest for coming. We're glad that you came here. We had a chance to talk about the markets in Europe. Michał Parizek, Full Moon Magazine.
Hi.
Another Michał Bereznak, SHARPE Festival. Daniel Somlo, Budapest Showcase Hub, Colours Agency Inota Festival. And Dan Bassman, Palace Agency. So our main topic of conversation is how do you organize concerts in Europe? How to organize? It's a very broad topic, but we will also encourage you to ask questions to our participants. Our main start of thinking about this discussion was how to make local artists make much more global, or to put them to foreign markets, to show young artists that there are more and more possibilities of playing abroad, playing at different festivals. And I think that also at CU Showcase, there are a lot of examples of artists who perform here. I see Artur from 𝐌𝐢𝐜𝐜𝐴, and 𝐌𝐢𝐜𝐜 perform in different festivals around in Europe. But at the beginning, I wanted to ask you about your point of view of nowadays European music market, and also about these possibilities of Central and Eastern Europe and the Western Europe. Do you see, are there any difference now or not for you? Because for a very long time, when people were thinking about festivals, when they were thinking about showcases, they were mostly concentrated on Western Europe, but for the last few years there are like Tallinn Music Week, Ment Ljubljana, SHARPE Festival, Budapest Showcase Hub. So there are more and more events like this in this part of Europe, and often bands who play at these festivals then go abroad in different parts of the world, and also this festival also do not concentrate on the artists from the region, but from the whole continent. So how do you see these possibilities or chances in the Central Eastern European region?
Thanks. Thanks for the invitation again. This is the crucial question on the start. Thank you. It's of course it's a really multiply level of topic, but yes, you mentioned the situation we are looking back then for the Western Europe and for especially for UK, of course, everyone from Poland, everyone from Czech Republic, everyone from Hungary and Slovakia want to play at the big UK festivals, and I don't know. My opinion is like that. Let's take a Brexit for another positive option, and let's keep focus on ourselves, on the Central Europe, and let's start to make a stronger network here, and then we see. Then maybe some guys from UK ask us, not like before.
Hey, also thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here. It's my first time in Gdańsk, and City looks lovely, so yeah, I'm glad. And now the market. So yes, it's true. I see it as the Brexit also as an opportunity for the bands from maybe the Central and Eastern Europe. First of all, I want to say that the Polish market, from my perspective, is really strong. In 2 weeks, we have SHARPE Festival. We have 3 or 4 Polish bands booked because they were like great. We have 𝐌𝐢𝐜𝐜𝐿, we have 𝐿ALA and the 𝐿ANCE, the producer. And if we want, we would be able to book even more bands from Poland. So every year there is so many Polish artists playing, but in Slovakia, that's just like it's mostly just for SHARPE Festival. And otherwise there is not that many gigs of Polish bands playing in there. Even we are getting in the cultural center of Nová Cvernovka, where the festival is happening, many requests of the concerts. That's mainly because their environment is not built for Polish bands for right now, because they are not like focusing on the audience in Slovakia, and the people who are coming for the shows, they're amazed, but not that many are coming. So what I would say, it's the acts should focus on some market and not just go for like global for every country. And for Polish bands, the Slovakia would be really a great market to approach.
I agree. Thank you for the invitation again. I would like to add, it's not written here next to my name, but I'm also one of the founders of Bush Festival, which goes for Budapest Showcase Hub. It's this year is the 10th edition we do. It's a showcase festival that is focusing on exactly the same region that you mentioned, on the Central Eastern European region, such as Poland. Poland is one of our most important markets that we try to cover every year, not only on the artist level, but also from the music industry level. And every year we invite a lot of people from the music industry to this event. So we try to act, or the main purpose of this whole festival, Bush, is to act like one whole region, like the one whole Central Eastern European region, and not only connect these small little markets that are next to each other with each other, but also the whole region with the rest of the world, with Western Europe, or even outside of Europe, like the USA or Asia or whatever. So this is a mission that we are trying to do since for ages, and I think we are on a good path. I mean, not only us, but all together we are on a good path. And every year I can see more and more successful stories from all the countries that we cover. And I think Eastern Europe is getting its shit together at the moment in a very positive way. But also it's struggling with a lot of other kind of issues that are not happening, for instance, in other, let's say, Western European countries, like political issues or funding system issues, or educational issues, or platforms that, like, for example, in Hungary, in my home country, where I was raised and born, it's very, very hard to promote yourself as an independent artist if you are active in the non-mainstream genres, because there are simply not enough platforms, or the ones that were active, they are not active anymore because they were bankrupt because of lack of fundings that I mentioned, or support, or any other issues. So it's very complex in a way, but we already saw a lot of successful stories. For example, it just came into my mind, Estonian artist Tommy Cash, for example. It's an Eastern European successful story from the hip-hop scene, or the Slovenian boy band, or what's the name? Joker Out. Thank you, Joker Out. I mean, this band, it's not really my cup of tea, but it's definitely a success story, because this band, if they go to, let's say, Germany or the Benelux states or wherever in the world, all the teenagers are singing their songs, their lyrics in Slovenian, even if they don't understand the word of it. So it's crazy, right? It's like crazy. It's never really happened before. So yeah, it really depends also on the genre. Poland is very famous about its historical jazz scene. also this new generation jazz scene is I think it has a very big international success, but yeah, it really depends on the genre. Also, all the different subgenres and subcultures are working very differently and using very different platforms, and doing very different marketing strategies in general. So there is no like one good strategy that equals for everyone. So that's my take on it.
Actually, you finished with what I was going to start. Like every music genre or subculture, as he said or described it, have its own rules. I think you can't really have the same route for like a boy band, a pop boy band, or a neoclassical musician, or a hip hop musician, or a world music, or electronics. It's really a different route for anyone. So there's not like really one story of how to do it, but I guess there are like some common grounds of like taking part in showcases, like exporting yourself, or using good PR team.
Educating yourself.
Yeah, educating yourself about showcasing, yeah, and having a good team with you. That's I think the most important thing for every local artist who wanna go out of his natural habitat, of his comfort zone. You need a really good team in every territory. It can be the booking agency, the management, the PR team, the guys who help you brand yourself, like in the aesthetics or the production. It's have like a million stuff to do, but yeah, but again, every genre have its own pet.
Yeah, but also the definition of the touring or organizing concerts or organizing show is completely different than before 20 years ago. So it's like it's as we talking about the touring. So let's just focus to the hardcore and metal guys 20 years ago or 25 years ago. They already did the same thing as we want to start at the moment, which is funny. And also for most or more current example is electronic music scene, which is going on a completely different level than we are speak to each other. You know, in Prague it's a based Slovakian collective actually who's called 𝐌𝐢𝐜𝐜, and they did on their SoundCloud premieres of the Latin American producers, and they take them to the Prague for one show or two shows from Latin America without any agents, without any network around. They just did it because it's possible.
And I think one of the important factors is how to find the bands and how to promote themselves, because also if we talk about this market from the perspective of United States or United Kingdom, there are a lot of media, music media, and it's much more easier to find something about bands coming from UK or United States. And I'm curious, how do you are doing research? And also I found this kind of events which you organize as kind of platforms when you can find some new bands. But I'm curious, how do you make research, and also how the bands can like try to play at your events?
Should I start? It really depends on which project or which hat I'm wearing at this answer. Because, as you see, I'm doing 𝐌𝐤𝐜𝐴 Festival, for example. I'm one of the bookers there. It's a strictly electronic and cutting-edge music festival in an old abandoned power plant. When it comes to 𝐌𝐤𝐜𝐴 Festival, it's usually a teamwork. There is the curator team and the booking team, and we just present ideas, then we narrow it down, then we try to just book whatever we have, and of course respecting the budget. It's usually like international, already established artists and local artists. Sometimes in the first year we were focusing also on the neighboring countries, because anyways, 𝐌𝐤𝐜𝐴 Festival was be able to born because of the European Capital of Culture program, when it was 2 years ago, when a Hungarian city called Veszprém was the European Capital of Culture, and this festival is in the same area, so it was the biggest project of this Veszprém City of Culture. So we had quite a massive budget for this, and we spent it on international artists, and it was a big success. But it's not the same budget anymore, so we have to be more careful. But when it comes to, for example, my booking agency that I've started a year ago, it's called Catharsis. So far I've reached out to the artists or international artists that I've already worked with so many times, and we are already friends in a way. For example, Golan from Romania is one of the artists that played a lot of times at Bush Festival, or I booked them so many times to other venues and events in Hungary, and we have a personal relationship since years. And it's the same with my other artists, or I just discovered them on similar showcase festivals like this one, or other showcase festival all over the world. Yeah, it's there are a lot of different channels how you can approach or find new talents. Sometimes it's also this is my favorite actually, like friends recommendations, like really close friends who we trust in each other's taste. I'm also following shitloads of music blogs and media platforms like I don't know, like from Pitchfork to Wasted to whatever, and I'm reading those things every day. Resident advisor as well, and if something's interesting, I just dig deeper in it and go after. Sometimes it can happen that they don't have a booking agent. Then I can also, then I approach them like, hey, do you need a booking agent at all? And if they need, and if there's a chemistry, then we can start to work with each other. So there are a lot of different ways. And when it comes to Bush Festival, the previously mentioned Showcase Festival, it's usually a more democratic system because every year we try to ask hundreds of music industry professionals all over the Eastern European region to nominate artists for the Showcase program, and also from Poland. It's always like that. So what I can recommend if you really want to play at Bush Festival, to be visible on your local market first and convince the local key music industry professionals to believe in you and nominate you for this kind of event, because this is the majority of the lineup what we book. Of course, we book also on our own, like the headliners and co-headliners, but that's a different story.
Yeah, I can continue. So it's true, as you mentioned, it depends on the projects. For SHARPE Festival, we are mostly looking for the bands we like that's the base for it. We like to book the bands which we saw live, and we just want them to bring them into Slovakia. But also we are opening application every year. It's around 800 to 1,000 bands applying, and we are picking 60 out of them. So also, like any small other things will help. So any recommendation, or also I can't help myself, but when I see that the band has a session at KXP, it kind of like doesn't mean anything, but still means something that it was recognized by KXP. So it's a band which I will maybe dig deeper for. But still, like the ground thing is that we need to like the band. Hopefully we saw it live, so then that's the best thing. But for the other projects I'm working with, it's different. For example, I'm also running the cultural center Nová Cvernovka in Bratislava, and we are part of a Live Europe network, which is supporting the emerging artists. There are some criteria which you must follow. It's like the first thing needs to be published no more than 5 years ago, etc., etc. And the venues are getting money to organize gigs for this kind of artists. So maybe you can just follow the network. There is venues in almost every country of Europe. In here you have Stodola in Warsaw, for example, and these venues are looking for emerging artists because they need to fill some criteria to get the support. So this may also may be a good way how to approach the venues in here. But yeah, it depends. But for me, the biggest criteria is the quality, but also the management, because we also had this kind of issues that the band was really great, everything worked out, but the communication, everything was so terrible that at the end, even the quality didn't help. So yeah.
Uh, I don't want to. I don't know what's out, but yes, the word of mouth is still crucial for me. Of course, recommendation for the people who I'm trust for. Also, some kind of medias. I'm very happy you guys mentioned some medias. Also, it's also important still. Trust me, a bit. And yes, for sure, the Showcase Festival, as we are on one of the Showcase Festival, it's of course it's not the best thing on the world, and it's not safe all of us, but it's a very good place to see some bands who
To
have no chance
discover
to see,
new
but
artists.
discover new artists,
Actually,
discover new scenes.
yesterday we had a discussion with Michal, and maybe you were there as well, that we don't really like to prepare these days. We don't really like to prepare for showcase festivals because we really like to be surprised at the gigs, and you know,
But this also depends on the size of the festival, you know.
of course.
Yeah, but this is true. Actually, this is true. This like I'm also not so well prepared for this kind of festival. So let me surprise, guys. I would love to see some new acts. But yes, there's also, of course, there are festivals that I'm always discover at MENT, at SHARPE, at those kind of events. There's a lot of bands that I've never heard before, and this is my like daily bread of this. But still, there are so many great artists, so many great bands, so many great scene, and yeah.
And Michał, because you also represent music media here, so how do you see nowadays the role of music media? We were talking before that about our friend Miloš Hroch, who is also like often talk about the I would say kind of collapse of music media in Czech Republic. It's I think the same in most of the countries. So how do you see nowadays, because like 10, 50, 20 years ago, like it was very strong. You mentioned a lot of blogs or websites. So how do you see from this kind of perspective the role of media, blog, websites in promoting music?
Of course, it's different than 20 years ago because every one of us has a complete music library in our pockets, in our phones and the computers and stuff. But still, the selection is the crucial thing for sure. It's like some pre-selection, or I don't know how to say, but it's still important. And of course, it's as Danny mentioned. Of course, it's important. Every day I'm open the platforms as the 𝐌𝐢𝐜𝐜𝐡𝐚𝐥, as the LALA Slovak, as some Slovakian hudba.sk and stuff like that. I'm open it because there is always something new, and I want to be just like on time for sure. And I'm pretty happy with Full Moon magazine. A lot of people say the same, which is good for sure. And I'm pretty happy actually if a lot of bands from Poland contact us. And I'm sorry, I don't have the chance to reply everyone, but yeah, this is the activity is the most crucial kind of thing, and the role of medias, of course, it's different, but I mean, the media's always trying to tell the stories what's behind, try to discover some patterns behind the music scene, behind the music society, and I think it's not changed at all at the moment. It's still the same. It's a little bit different, of course, but we have a lot of new ways, a lot of new forms as we can communicate with the people, which is of course good. And yeah.
Can I ask also something about this topic? Do you still think that, for example, print media is still like a tastemaker format in general?
Yes, because Full Moon magazine is a printed magazine still. 15 years, actually, it will be 15 years in 1 month. All of you guys can come on 29th of May to Prague when will be the anniversary. But yes, I think it's, of course, there's different levels. We in the Full Moon magazine, and I believe in every guys from every printed medias, we have to do a little bit more, because we have to do, of course, the print and make it best as possible. We also have to do the online kind of, communication, and also we have to be active on the social medias because it's like it's necessary at the moment. So yes, but actually, which is interesting for us as the print is a really important in the terms of the advertising and in the terms of our partners from this kind of sector, because they want to be on print. They don't care if they be some online banners and stuff like that. No, they want to be on the page, on the paper, and they show their own partners this, and this is it. And of course, I'm a little bit older, and I'm just like. Thank you.
Just a little bit,
thank
like-
you. You are so kind. but also it's some kind of celebration for me when the new issue come in from the print factory and stuff. And I'm also trying to. I'm still buying the different magazine, not only Full Moon. And yes, but it's for me. It's of course it's a little bit different than before. Than I don't know, Music Maker or. Melody Maker or New Musical Express, they discover a new scene, they discover, I don't know, Britpop and stuff like that, and they also bury some bands, but we don't have same kind of power at the moment, but we still are important, I believe.
And then I want to ask you, because you also, Michał told me you organize the 𝐌𝐢𝐜𝐜𝐴 concerts. And this is also, I think, interesting topics through the perspective of what we are talking about, because as I know, for a very long time, she was looking for some label to put her music out in Poland, and it didn't success. So Gandawana Records in Belgium released her album, and then like everything started. And now she's quite popular in Poland, and she's touring much more in the whole world than in Poland. But I wanted to ask you, what was your experiences with like organizing concerts of, as we are speaking in Poland, of Polish artists like 𝐌𝐢𝐜𝐜𝐴?
I thought it's very interesting, actually. I thought it's a plus that is coming from Poland and not from the UK or something. I think that for me, you talked about it in the beginning of this conversation also. I think, like, for me, it's more exciting to go to a festival in Poland than in the UK, I have to say, where everything is commercialized and very one-minded, and all the aesthetics is the same, and it's very predictable what you're gonna get. I find like East Europe or Central Europe much more, it makes me much more curious, and also for new artists. I think that for me it was like, oh wow, a cool artist from Poland. It's like, I think it's actually, that's what I was going to say, it's easier to stand up when you're coming from a place from Poland, like Poland, or Czech Republic or Slovakia, than from the UK, where you have like a million bands exactly like you. Like, I think it's much easier to stand up. I mean, if you're good, if you have like good music and good branding and good social media, which no one talked about it so far here, but I think it's the most important tool today for a musician, the social media, obviously, to stand up and make his voice out. And I think once you have something like that, like a good system behind you, it's actually a plus to come from a country which is not like the most obvious place to go. It's giving something more authentic, like, and more exotic. I know it's funny to say exotic about Poland, but exotic in a way, yeah, it makes people more curious. And you know, when I booked Tanya, for example, and promote her show back home, it was very easy to do so, and that's why she sold out also, because she's doing it very right. She have like really good social media, she have like really good aesthetics, she have a really good team working with her and helping you moving things forward as you want. And I think that's what's important, you know. And today, I think it's more important than where you come from. Because with the social media and everything, everyone comes from the same place, kind of. So you can use the fact that you're coming from somewhere else as a plus. And by the way, that's what I mostly do. I mostly book artists not from West Europe. And I think like in 23, I had like 320 shows in Europe with artists not from Europe. So yeah, I think it's a plus. That's how I see it.
Czy może macie jakieś pytania? Cały czas zachęcam do zadawania pytań. Jeśli macie coś w głowie, zapraszam. Okay, so the first question.
Hi, so I wanted to ask Michał and Daniel, as the organizers and bookers of showcase festivals, like what
I've booked you already.
I know. That's not
One
a
more
question.
time, one more time.
All right, then Michał. No, my question was because I guess there are not so many artists from Poland that are actually doing that. And I know that lots of people might be sort of suspicious towards playing showcase festivals like around Europe because it's kind of expensive and it's not that obvious, like the outcome is not that obvious. Like it's not like you play showcase festivals and then right away you start, you know, selling out tours and stuff. So from your perspective, how would you encourage people, artists, managers from Poland, like what can bands get from performing at your showcases or festivals like yours? And also, what do you think that an artist should do in order to take the most out of that showcase experience? Like how to increase the visibility and how to also, you know, take the most advantage of the conference part. Any tips?
It's a complex question, so I will try to maybe make some suggestions. What can the artist achieve, or what can they take out of a showcase festival as SHARPE is? So many artists who are playing at SHARPE is their first performance abroad, outside of their own country. So it's a good experience for them to play somewhere else. We, from the production side, we have only short sound check time, only 40 minutes, so they need to be efficient, etc., etc. So for them, this is a good experience, and also to be in the environment of the professionals, which we are bringing every year. It's a chance to meet somebody who might help you in the future. I'm not saying that there is going to be some huge achievement every showcase festival you play, but even when you meet some small label from Belgium, you don't know what's going to happen in 2 years. Or you meet a band which you like and you can make a collab and you can just get to be recognized in the country from the band. So there are many things you can get from the showcase festivals. And also what I heard from the bands, what they like most about showcase festival, but I'm mostly saying about SHARPE, is that they're playing in front of many people. You know, like the shows are packed. The bands are playing in front of like 200-300 people, what is not usual for them. And it's also a good experience to feel the energy. And I heard that many of the bands had like the best performance because the outcome of the audience was so strong. So even it might be not that cheap to get to some showcase festivals, but I think there are many great ways in here in Poland how to get some funding from Music Export Poland or from Adam Mickiewicz Institute. We, as a showcase festival, but most of the showcase festivals are covering at least some part of the production cost, are giving you some accommodation, etc., etc. So I think it's a good investment, and if not it, so at least it's a good trip somewhere to see the other countries. So yeah, I would definitely recommend for you to try and play abroad as much as you can to get the experience, and then you will see what's going to happen.
First of all, you have to forget if on your show at the SHARPE Festival come some British agents and take you immediately to Glastonbury, it's not going to happen. But no, it's not. Sorry. But
this year we are going to have a booker from Glastonbury, so
yeah. But so yes, of course, there is a small percent chance of this for sure. But there is also another level than the mission not mentioned so much. There's you also meet at the Showcase Festival the artists from the other countries, and you met them, you make it friends from, I don't know, make it some collaboration, and you can go to their country for their invitation, and they come to your country for your invitation, and this is the network what I'm talking about. This is a really important. Sorry, Dan.
It's all right. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I totally agree with everything that you just said. Most importantly, it's always an investment from the artist or its management side, and this is a thing that usually a pain point, and usually bands don't really want to understand because they just simply don't want to accept like this thing that, oh, it costs us money, and they don't cover, sometimes they don't cover accommodation or things like that. Yes, it is like that. But if you invest in it a little bit, time and energy and money, then there might be a good outcome. It's never 100% sure. It's not the holy grail of the music industry. There are a lot of other tools to be visible and get successful. But it's a very important format. Like all the other industries in the world, they do conferences and they do gatherings in the format of whatever. This is the way how music industry gathers, and of course you have to understand first of all you have to understand the showcase landscape, because maybe not all the showcase events are a good fit for your music. For example, with a hardcore rap product, I wouldn't go to Womex, for example, which is about world music. This is it's simple as it is. It sounds silly, but it's like that. So it's just it's a matter of research and understanding of the market and following the market, because conferences and showcase festivals are always come and go. So you have to follow this line if you want to be active in your national and regional and continental market. So yeah, that's basically it is. And one more thing is I can see that loads of times, like most of the bands who are coming to Bush, even if we want to educate them in advance, we try to educate them in advance, but loads of time they don't put the effort into preparations for a showcase festival. Preparation is crucial, actually, because almost all the showcase festivals has a delegates database. So it's the list of music industry professionals who are going to attend at the certain event. So you can approach them in advance, like 2 months, 3 months in advance, the exact event, and try to start your networking and connect with the potential people in advance. And you can, of course, you can meet in person at the event or maybe after, but a lot of bands they just don't do it. Even the ones that are going to the big ones like Eurosonic or Reeperbahn Festival, which are the most important ones or the Great Escape, but it's rarely happening. And if you have a good team, a good management, or you are as an artist able to do these kind of things properly, then it's the format, the showcase festival format is for you, and you can make the most out of it. Maybe you can find your next record label or your next publisher, your next festival performance or booking agent, you name it. So that's basically it.
I will just add one more recommendation. At least that's what I'm recommending to the bands. Don't take it just as a one-off gig somewhere, but create a tour around it. Ask the organizers if they can't help you with some other gigs in the other cities around the whole thing, and make a tour. You have the opportunity to create some nice impact in the lands where you're going. So don't just flew to the country of the showcase festival, but take the van, go there, make the stops, and maybe you will even get to the break even with the production costs. So.
Yeah, I think the most important thing you need is money, actually. I'm not kidding. I think there's a very romantic perception in music business that you can like go wild and be big, like in a romantic way, like, hey, this guy will like me and he will take me and then I will play in this festival. And you know, it happens like once in every million cases. There are like stories like that, but I think we wouldn't be in any other convention, like construction or technology or something, and someone will imagine he can create a product that can work on a European scale or worldwide scale, and it doesn't need to invest any euro. It can just happen by nice people he meet along the way, and it will just happen like that. It doesn't. You need money to tour, you need money to play in showcases, and then if you find someone who wants to book you after the showcase, you need more money to play in his place because you're just in the beginning. You need money to do good videos, good production, have a good PR around you. You need money, and I think really it's so crucial to understand that you need some kind of a budget, reasonable one, to create something that is meaningful, a meaningful step in your career. Because without money, it's really, really hard. And that's why I think there are so many stories of where it doesn't happen. And I think that the artist that really stands up and have like a substantial career, they invested tens, if not hundreds of thousands of euros in their branding and their music and the things around it. That's the way to do a significant move. So either finding an investor, or you're lucky enough to find a label that actually put a budget, which is very rare these days. But yeah, you need to find partners who can support also financially. It's a super important thing. Yeah.
There is also the thing, of course, showcase festivals are not perfect, difficult. Some of them are horrible, for sure. But imagine for yourself 20 years ago, there were just, I don't know, 3, 4 European showcase festival. We don't have that kind of network. We don't have Push Festival, we don't have SHARPE Festival, we don't have MENT Festival, we don't have Tallinn Music Week. We just have Eurosonic, maybe some other small, Southeast, Southwest, the Great Escape, and that was it. So now you have, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 festivals as that. Of course, not everyone is same kind of quality or stuff like that, but you have this kind of network and you can deal with it, and it's up to you. It's like, yes, of course, money is important, but you have something, you have some place to play, which is important.
Czy jeszcze ktoś może ma jakieś pytania?
Hi, I'm Alicia. I manage a band called Chair, and I wanted to ask about the open applications. You mentioned there's around 1,000 applications for each edition. So what are the things that you look out for the most? Like, what is something in the application that make you think, wow, they could be a good match for the festival?
The quality, that's the main thing. But also, you know, this is a hard process to go over the application, because in the first 100, I'm like going really deep and looking for each artist. But the longer I look at the application, the shallower I go, kind of, to be honest. So maybe some catchy things, like, as mentioned, the media helps a lot. If there is a mention from The Wire, The Quietest, and I don't know, from The Clash, it's something what takes my attention. I'm going deeper. So something, if there is no word of mouth, at least in the application, something needs to be catchy. But the quality, the music, it's the main thing still, and will be.
Yeah, actually, anything could be catchy. Like you mentioned press codes, for example, but also streaming numbers. If you have like high streaming numbers, somehow it's also an eye-catcher thing. Or followers, social media follower numbers is like decent, or the picture is unique in a way. Of course, the sound, it's everything all together.
I really like when because we are asking the artists to submit a live session. I really like when the live session is like really in a good quality as well, because then I see that they made an effort to like record it. So this is also a good thing, to have at least one good live session.
Roman Wróblewski is booking agent and manager of Daltonis and RW Trio. I have questions to you guys and one for you. So I have 2 questions. Nothing for you, sorry. But
Must be so much.
yeah, the question is, but it's quite similar. But how important it's to be released in a record label or self-released? It matters. Probably it's a short answer. Matters on the application to your festival.
The record label?
Yeah, record label.
For me, sometimes it is. If it's a record label that
If it's sub pop.
If it's sub pop, then I mean, there are so many great record labels out there,
But it's I'm just asking maybe a little bit. I will just ask a little bit more about this because do you consider how big team the band has when you have the application, like the team around the band? If you have like record label and PR agency and I don't know booking agency and so on.
When you see the band around, then you can see that the band might get more out of the festival than if it's just the band and nobody else, because then the band can just focus on the show and the other members can focus on the backstage stuff. So the team helps the band, definitely.
Okay, and the question for you. About the budget, you said that something about budget. Maybe for sure you cannot be so specific, but if we have, if I want to sold out show for like 200 people, if you want to say that the budget about, I'm talking about ads and social media, you can, I don't know, predict how much you need to spend, or there is some kind of formula for that, or not really, or PR agency and so on. How?
I think it's all together. Like, you know, if the band doesn't sell and it's not interesting or no one knows it, it won't help if you put even €1,000 on social media for the 200 ticket show you have in Berlin, for example. It won't sell anyway. And I'm talking from experience. Like so, but on the other end, I think if you do build a system around it of what you just mentioned, there is some good PR, like some press around it, and you put the budget on social media, etc., then you have all together, it creates some kind of a dynamic that actually does sells the ticket.
Cool. Thanks.
But if you have like an unlimited budget for PR, don't just do it to support and promote the show. Just support the band, the awareness of the band, and then come with the show.
Thank you. I have one more question. Sorry, can I? Because I played on some showcase festival abroad as well, and how many deals you can predict that you're gonna do on one showcase festival? Do you have? Because some people are going and they try to do everything, you know, talk with everyone and do everything, and it's not possible. So like I did 3 deals in one showcase and still nothing from the second one, but it's. Do you think that we should be more focused on 1, 2, 3 person, not on all of them? Yeah, that's the maybe good idea when you are going to showcase.
It really depends on your target. Like what do you want to achieve on this showcase festival? If your main goal is to find your booking agent, for example, that's the only thing that you are focusing on, then probably make your own research in advance, as I mentioned earlier, and find those booking agents that fits to your music the most, like that you could fit to their roster, maybe, and sit down with them and prove them that it's worth to work with you because you understand their business, their roster, their artists. You can even name them, and it's always like compelling, you know, like and. It shows that you respect what they do already, and maybe just focus on those. If you're looking for everything, every possibilities, then probably you can target more people. Yeah.
But it's good to have a focus. To go for a showcase festival with, like, if you go for Eurosonic, don't be there just I want to meet everybody. It's good, but you probably won't achieve anything. If you go there and you're like, okay, I need a label from Germany, you just select the labels and meet with the labels from Germany, and this is a good way how to get to know the people you need to.
Może jeszcze jakieś pytania? So I think what we can summarize here is one of the things is to make a good research, because nothing will happen just like with anything. But I wanted to ask you, are there any things which you maybe mention which most or a lot of bands are doing wrong too? Because like, as I said, we have a lot of young professionals here, and maybe you have some kind of advices what to have in mind. You mentioned a lot of these things, but like, also, there are some examples of Polish artists who are going to showcase. They're playing on one day and they are just coming for one day. and there are some advice, go for the whole showcase because there are a lot of things to do, you have more opportunities. Then you mentioned these things, not to try to have a contact with everyone, but maybe there are some more advices with being much more visible, to plan what you are supposed to do, to make a schedule of what you are going to do. Like, is there anything you want to add?
I would like to mention the band was called Trupa Trupa. I believe they are from Gdańsk. And I discovered them or met them first at some showcase festival. I don't remember where it was, but it was one of their first show, I think, at that kind of circle, that kind of events. And look at them now. That I made them 2 weeks ago at Leiden at a festival, which is not a showcase festival. It's just a festival. And they come back from American tour, and they are not at the Sub Pop label anymore, but they are on the Glitterbeat label. But they are starting at the showcase festival, and it's like. And they play also at Full Moon Magazine stage at Colours of Ostrava, which I promised to you. I remember that it will happen. No worries. But yes, that's like, and that's all based on the Grzegorz activity. All of us are flooded by his really long emails. Really, to be honest, longer than used to be. But that's basically it. Just like be active. It's very stressful, but just be active.
Yeah, great example.
You've mentioned Grzegorz excessive style of mailing, and I've heard, like, yes, it is famous,
but it works,
or infamous. It depends. But I wanted to ask because I've also heard, like, you know, mixed opinions about that style of communication. So I guess you as bookers or press, you get lots of emails. So my question is, like, how do you personally approach, you know, a person, whether it's a manager or an artist that is just flooding you with emails? Is it like they are being pain in the ass and you just never want to reply to them, or you eventually just reply because you don't want to get those emails anymore?
Unsubscribe. Basically, unsubscribe. Or
if it's a personal email to you, just block?
Block, sorry.
I had just this kind of experience with the Polish band Alameda, and
I booked them as well.
But they're playing
such a cool band.
On the 8th of May, they're playing Bratislava because I got like 15 or 16 emails and I didn't have time. It wasn't that I don't like the band, but I was like, sorry guys, I don't have time to deal with this one. But they were like messaging me, emailing me, calling me, and I was at the end like, okay, whatever you want me to do, just please let me know. Let me know. Yeah, I'm doing the show of Alameda in Bratislava. But it's a great band. I mean, like, there is the quality, but still, they like got me to the corner. I couldn't just flee, so
anyway, it's better to do something than doing nothing. Okay, so if we have any last questions, I think you can also ask our guests here in the lobby or during the festival, because they are staying for 2 days. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you, Adam Mickiewicz Institute, for cooperation and for making it happen.
Hajduk is the best.
And yeah, and enjoy for the rest of the festival. Send them a lot of emails, call them, like do whatever you want, and maybe it will work. Yeah, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.